Heck yeah. No, it's been a little bit. It's been absolutely crazy, especially with HybridX. So this is it's good to be back on live again. So obviously you're gonna wait for some people to trickle in. I'm currently editing now, so if you've never seen my space before, this is like, usually the desk is flipped around, but I have guests coming over, and this is like an extra room for the kids. So yeah, this is why the wall is white behind me and not the black that I usually use for behind me. But so obviously, if you watch this now or you watch it later, oh, we just got someone who popped in. I was just showing that this is, my desk is flipped around, but this is where I edit. I'm currently editing, but I'm going to talk about some different things, but I like to show people, I probably did that too fast. It's like, this is where it happens. This is where I edit all the videos. But as always, thank you for being here. I'm very, very grateful. I'm trying to fix this little thing on my phone. There we go. Very grateful to all those who tune in every single week. If you're active on the posts or in the shorts or on the long form videos, like, I truly, truly appreciate you. This is who I make all of this content for, as well as myself too, right? This is the series that I needed, and you're gonna hear that in today's video. Once it goes live at 3 p.m. Central Time. So whatever time zone you're in, you can plus or minus whatever you gotta do. But as always, thank you for always being here and supporting the journey. So this is kind of talking about, you know, where HybridX started. Phase 1 is now complete of those 7 days. What's next? And this is kind of, this series is like the bridge between it all. And I hope to continue doing more live streams at different times. I'm testing out this time. I don't know what people are doing. Yeah, everyone has different work schedules and life schedules. So, you know, we're going to make it work. But phase 1 was like the ultimate test for HybridX. So it was 7 days of real structured training that I'm actually doing, blending that strength and endurance, and at the same time giving that mindset, giving some inspiration for your own journey, but figuring out how to become that version of yourself. So I filmed it raw, like with my camera. I edited all myself, scripted it, everything. And when I say scripting, it just helps me keep an organized flow for like mindset, special topics, workouts, just to keep everything organized and make sure I don't miss anything in between. So it was really awesome. And it's showing like someone like me on this hybrid journey, right? Even though it's technically kind of what I used to train like, I'm now becoming a more in tune and better version of that. And I apologize for my dogs in advance. They can be loud. They are big dogs. So with that being said, like, please feel free to drop comments, questions, things like that. I always like to keep like an open Q&A. And if it's quiet, I'm just going to keep talking, because this new series is like the bridge between phase 1 and launching that phase 2. And phase 2 is going to be coming in the near future, because phase 1 did much better than I could have hoped for, right? Not like, oh, I expected nothing, but you just never know when you do like some kind of programming. Are people going to actually do this? Are they going to buy into it? Was it valuable enough? So if it was, and you actually watched all of them, actually did the workouts, like, drop that in the comments too. I did have like a testimonial, or like a feedback form that I put into some of the descriptions. And the reason being, when I build phase 2, I want to make sure it's everything that you could hope for, because this is free training, right? And I think that, I think it's really impactful, and it's something that I wish I could have tuned into back in the day, not just like these vlog overviews that briefly show some of the workouts. This is like the full workout, cardio, strength, as well as the mindset to back it all up. But so I appreciate you guys being there. And again, as always, please, like, I would love to see comments or how I can make this better. So as we go into phase 2, of course. But as you know, there was like everything from recovery, running, gym workouts, supplements, I mean, meals, everything like that. Phase 2, I'm hoping to take what worked really well and then add more to it for all of you. But until we get to phase 2, this series, Built to Perform, is going to exist. And the first drop is today, Thursday. I'm not missing a beat, because I didn't want to finish phase 1 and then drop off the face of the earth. And now, come on in. What's up, bud? Can I come in? Yes. Not with loud noises, though. Mom, like, this is the real balance. This is the stuff. Occasionally, he makes an appearance in a video. What's up, bud?
What's up?
I'm on a live stream. And there's a dog that I didn't want in here. Okay, that's fine. Anyways, so, basically this build to perform series is the in-between so that I'm not falling off or disappearing. You're like, what the heck is next? When's phase 2 coming? That's what all of this is for. But because I'm still training, building out phase 2 and not disappearing, but this is like the in-between phase. This is the mental, emotional, still physical work of becoming the hybrid athlete and the best version of yourself. I always say built to perform. You might have heard this before. It's not like I just like generated this new term by myself, but it's like we are built to perform in all areas of our life. So I do like to talk about all this. Today's drop at 3 p.m. CT is going to be a little bit of my story as well, and talking about how everyone has a story. Because for the longest time, I didn't believe that was true. I was like, who the heck would want to hear my story? But you never know that your voice out there could really be impacting the lives of others, that maybe that is that piece of permission almost for them to lean into what they're meant to be doing, but also that they're not alone in their story. Like our stories, as unique as we feel like they are to us, and they are unique, there are so many people who share portions of that with us. So your voice is very important. Your story is very important. And this is such a quiet little group. So I'm curious. Please feel free to drop questions. This is like always an open Q&A, but I'm going to keep talking through everything. But I do like to answer questions when I can. Or, hey, feedback for HybridX if you're just joining or still listening. Like, give me some good feedback. What do you wish was in it? What did you like about it so that it stays for the next time? All that helps me build out phase 2 because I always want it to be better than the last, right? Like I don't want to do the exact same thing, but I don't want to make it worse, you know? Okay? I want to make it better, always. So the in-between, that is what built to perform is. So like my story, I'm a mom, I'm a creator, I'm a veteran, I'm a hybrid athlete. The series kind of holds all of that together. Today's video, I do talk about leaving my corporate job. I do have other videos on that too. And there's so much more to that piece of my story than is always, put out. So there's portions of it I'm going to share. Like there's so much to our individual stories and how much those big choices impact us. Like that corporate time, those 5 years after the military, completely lost who I was, like my identity, which is why I talk about identity so much and how you have permission to change and evolve as much and as often as you can and want to. That corporate person I became, I don't even say I was really corporate because what I did was a mix between serving blue collar, but on like a white collar side. But I was very much like climbing the racks, picking orders, doing operations, doing sales, all at the same time. So it was a very small facility. It ran very lean. So I had to do a little bit of everything. So I didn't lose the compassionate or human aspect to myself, but I did lose the identity of like, why am I doing this? This doesn't bring me joy. I'm not waking up like, I can't wait to go to work. So, excuse me, the people that love their jobs, you don't need to leave it. I'm talking about leaving a place in a space that you no longer fit, that doesn't define you, that you're not excited and happy to go to. But also you need to prepare for that too when you leave a job, right? Like you're not just like bouncing and like you have bills to pay. Like that doesn't make any sense. And I made a whole video on how I exited, and a lot of it was on that financial tier because I did like a pyramid. The freedom pyramid is what I called it. And that bottom layer was financial. You need to make sure, especially if you have kids or, other people that depend on you, you need to make sure that you can keep the roof over their head, the lights on, the water running, the food on the table. Like all the basic things need to be met before you can just up and leave. And you have to be very, very comfortable with the uncomfortable, because it was literally like one of the scariest moments in my life was telling my team like, hey, this is my last day. And there's like a reason why I did that. I had kind of primed it, but not in a way. Corporate's very weird. Like they can fire you at any moment with no notice, but like they want you to give a notice. And I absolutely did not. I was like, I'm not giving you a 2-week notice because you could fire me at any point because someone was better or for whatever reason. And I wouldn't have been allowed the same respect of like staying because there's customers involved and money involved and like a whole business. So I just felt it was better to be like, okay, hands off, I'm out of here. But a big decision in my life, and just saying that being a single mom, being a veteran, veterans in general, I know there's a lot that do watch some of the videos. We all do different things with our service, right? It's not like we all, went into combat and did all this stuff, or if they did, but we all had different jobs and different experiences with it. To me, it was very foundational. Learned a lot. I was in a leadership role. So that was a very, very impactful time in my life. But all of these pieces of the story start coming together of like, okay, well, why did this happen? What did I learn from it? How am I taking that to the next phase of my life? And all of it comes together because it can make or break you. Your story, your experiences. I want to make sure I'm not missing comments, so I'm going to pull this up. But I don't want to dive too deep into it because I do talk about it on my video today too. So I don't want to like spoil it all, you know what I mean? But that's why questions are super welcome. Is like, please ask whatever questions you would like. And I'm going to make sure I'm not missing anything. I don't think I am. Okay, well, that's all right. So please do drop any questions. I'm going to keep saying it because I want you guys to feel open and comfortable with chatting with me and asking whatever questions you'd like. And maybe is it, let's remember to guard your blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. That's fine. Sorry, I was checking the little comment section. Does it allow you to? Like why? It says live chat. It's not letting me open the panel. What in the world? Okay, well, there we go. I'm gonna see if I can do this. And then I'll get back to talking, don't you worry. Is this gonna be right in the middle of my face? Okay. Does that work? Awesome. The time is still going, so I'm gonna assume that this works. So go ahead and you could drop questions in there if you would like, and it can be pertaining to this or not. For those just joining, I am in like my editing room. See how it turns like black? Because that's usually what's behind me when I'm in my office, but video editing, all this good stuff, my coffee, and that's like, it's kind of like a spare bedroom because I have a lot of guests coming. It's my son's birthday this weekend, so we got some guests that are staying and some friends and all that good stuff. So that's why I moved my desk around. I don't normally have this in the back. But, so yeah, phase 2 with HybridX, that is coming. That is kind of where I want the questions. It doesn't even need to be a question. It could be feedback for phase 1. If you did follow along or did not follow along or watch some of it, or did the whole thing, right? I'm curious what your feedback is from that. So with phase 2, always want things to be next level, as I've mentioned before. So longer format, different structure. Some parts will stay the same, but also it's a full like shreds. It's shred season, right? So if I'm launching this summertime, that's when people want to shred. They probably want to shred now too, which is totally fine. You can do the workouts I gave and still shred because we talk about that being your nutrition piece. Nutrition and your volume of training. So if you are running and lifting, you're going to be primed. Just make sure you're a caloric deficit and then you're like primed for your shred season. But talking about training, mindset, nutrition, support, different aspects to season 2 or season 2, phase 2 of HybridX. And so there's always going to be bonus things like the PDF guide. If you guys did actually download it, it was like very in depth where people and friends that I had look at it before it went live, they were like, I would have paid for this. Like, but the whole purpose behind this is that I don't want there to be a paywall. And if there are added paid add-ons, like that would be so much more intimate. It'd be like more one-on-one, or maybe your actual meal plan sent to you. Like that's the only thing that would be like that heavy, is it would have to be a whole different level. But the workouts are free. I show you how to calculate macros and calories, and there's tons of videos on how to do this, and everyone teaches it a little bit differently. So I'll be diving deep into that. I will be making a video as well in the near future about everything I eat in a day and talking about macros again, because I'm actually switching up my macro split. Usually it's like 40, 35, 25, but I'm going to try to go lower on protein. And, there's just different things that I want to talk about because there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of different guides, and everyone at the end of the day is going to be different. So I'm going to see what my performance and my body look and feel like when I switch macros around a little bit, like the distribution of them. So again, going back to phase 2, this is something I'm really excited about. I've been asked like, hey, when's the 8th video coming out? I was like, it was a 7-day thing, like 1 week of training that you are meant to repeat for a series of anywhere 2 to 4, maybe even 6 weeks, depending on where you're at. So that was what it was like a 7-day phase. And you can expect phase 2 to be another 7-day phase, because you need a week, right? And then you're going to build in your own rest days as well if you need them. I always say active recovery. Like if you can still go on a walk or roll out, stretch, you could do yoga, you can do some kind of like recovery stuff. Never be sedentary. Just not good. Not good at all. And you're going to be very sore, especially if you haven't done this combination before. If you haven't trained running and lifting at the same time, you're going to have a soreness that you've never experienced before. And that's totally normal. And to respect, you got to respect the journey, right? But you got to show up for it too. I personally like being a little bit sore. And someone has asked before, if I'm not feeling sore anymore, does that mean it's like not working or I'm not whatever? And there's a few different things here. So if you're not being sore, that means you shouldn't be super sore all the freaking time, because if you're training this way, then that means, okay, your body's getting used to this. You've built some muscle, but remember, when you're sore, it's like the muscle stuff like breaking down and you're getting stronger. Sore and pain are very different too. So know the difference between pain and just being sore, but make sure to recover. That's why I'm always rolling out, stretching in between sets, or like before and after a run. Like I need to do that because I've had tendonitis in my lower part of my shins before growing up in track days. And then also in both my shoulders when I did CrossFit in college. That was like prepping for the military. I did CrossFit and I would get tendonitis so bad. And that was pain, not a sore. And I had to be able to tell the difference when I went to the doctor, like, yeah, that's tendonitis. I'm like, wonderful, that's great. But know the difference between those two things and know when you can push harder too. I'm always saying that if the protocol is 12 reps and you felt that you could have done 15, or you did 15, 20, then you need to up the weight and wait till you can do 12 reps unbroken, but you're feeling it like, okay, this is really hard, and they're good reps. The reps, your range of motion, how you're conducting the training matters more than the amount that you get at first or the weight that you have on. If you need to start with shoulder presses at 10 pounds because your form sucks, that's okay. That's an okay place to be. It's when you get the form down first and then you're getting the prescribed reps in with the weight. Now you start tacking on weight. You tack on maybe holding it, or negatives, going up and down slowly, or negative on the decline part. There's so many different things you can do to elevate a workout or scale it back if you're just starting. And I mention those things all the time. It's very important to know that you have to meet yourself where you're at. So if there's like a running day and you're not in the running shape right now, okay, you're going to fast walk for a little bit. And then you're going to slow it down to a normal pace walk. Then you're going to fast walk. Like there's so many things you can do to get yourself on the right track. So never think that, oh, this is too advanced or this is too easy. There is a way to elevate anything. So I'm not seeing any questions, which is so interesting, but that's okay. I know people are probably like at work or doing whatever they're doing. I'm working too. I'm editing right now and scrubbing my entire house, which is like not fun. But I always invite you guys to leave a comment later if you do have a question, because I do respond to everything. So don't feel free to do that. If you want to remain more anonymous and not put it live, you can always email me too. That's all in my, everything is in my description in my bio for all of that, but it's alyssa@lfpcreative.co. And I have had people email me before with specific questions. I'm always here to help and, to point you in the right direction, or to give you my own personal advice. Always do your own research. I'll say that too. But I got loud dogs. But if this, with phase 2 coming, and again, if you're just popping in, like right now, there is a video going live today at 3 p.m. CT. It's the Built to Perform series. This is the in-between of phase 1 and phase 2. And how long we go with the phases, I'm thinking like 3 phases, possibly 4. But I hope that that first one resonated. I was really happy with the amount of engagement and people who look forward to it. If you're not subscribed to my newsletter, you don't have to be. I don't try to make people be everywhere, follow me everywhere. Like you can if you want, that'd be great. Because there's different formats on everything, but the newsletter is a weekly thing as well on Thursday. So it went out this morning. And there's a lot of different things like, a weekly workout, different tips of the day, quotes that you can train by. there's so many different things I like to put because I want to put as much value out there as possible. And again, like if you choose to be here and choose to be a part of this journey and to, you know, support me and sharing this with others, like I really am grateful for you. This is like, you are the reason why this is possible. Because I'm doing everything from start to finish on my own right now. I don't have a team of people. It is me, myself, and I, and my 3 personalities. Just kidding. I just have the one goofball, but I also am very serious, I know, in videos. But I'm pretty goofy. That's where the live streams come in because I can't hide it, right? I can't hide being weird, which is okay. The weirdest ones are the ones who are the best. I don't know. I feel like there's a much more eloquent quote that I'm just not putting together right now. But it's been like a long 2 weeks for me with like editing, making sure everything is good. I got my video today. I got all these videos planned for everyone. So if you ever have suggestions, that's where the Q&A comes in, but also just comment it. Like I would love to see a video on this, like, you know, a day of you eating. I've been asked that multiple times now, so I will be doing that with my actual calories, macros, exact meals, and kind of talk you through it. And again, phase 2, like that's where the PDF comes in. If you didn't get the PDF, it's still available. It's always going to be available. It's like the playbook, the HybridX playbook. It's in every link you can find. If you subscribe, you don't have to subscribe to the newsletter, but if you did early on, it automatically was sent to you. If not, there's still a link available to grab it. But I had my exact meal plan, like an example of a whole day of eating with the calories and macro breakdown. I'll probably do that again just to show you because it's probably going to change in phase 2, most likely. And I don't want to give you the same meal plan. I'm going to give you a different breakdown. So there was that, every single workout, trackers in there, links to everything, but also just information, nutrition guidelines, rules that you should apply when eating. And again, everything is a suggestion. You have to read your own body. Some people perform better with higher carbs or higher fats, or you have restrictions. You know, everyone is different. So I got this like hate message the other day, and I love hate messages because it's like, well, obviously I'm making an impact in some way, right? Just kidding. I got like 3 recently. And no, they don't bother me. They honestly, I'm just like, wow, I hope you have a better day. That's what I hope. But one of them was like, there's so much misinformation in your videos. And then when I followed up, I was like, hey, yeah, like let me know so we can talk about it. Like maybe I can go check myself or read a book. But no context, no response, and has never seen a video of mine before that I'm aware of because I've never seen this person's name. So interesting though, because I'm like, hey, like let's have a conversation. Like I'm not opposed to being schooled on something or learned up, be like, hey, like I would love you to read this article, or like, hey, I've always heard this. Like let's have a conversation about it. Let's not just, you just want to spread hate. That's cool. Because then I go to check out their page and they either have nothing or they have a video of like, oh, I'm a crazy bodybuilder stuff, whatever. And bodybuilding is great. I've been in the bodybuilding world before, but guess what? Like I'm transitioning. I've been there. I understand. But our rules are going to be different, right? Like it's not a sustainable way of living, a competitive bodybuilding. Because obviously there's bodybuilding aspects that I do with my training when I'm lifting, right? Just like there's some Olympic lifting. There's running, you know, that's what hybrid means. It puts it all together. So it's like funny to me. But if you're like competitive and on all this gear and leaning out to the point of like, you're not eating anything, like to me, that's not a healthy, sustainable way of living. Am I hating on it? No, I did it for 2 years. And I was like, yeah, this is not for me. If I'm hungry, I'm going to eat something. Okay. Like, okay. But anyways, again, built to perform. Video drops every Thursday, 3 p.m. CT. I'll probably be dropping Sunday videos as well, since that was the cadence I was on before HybridX. It is a crazy weekend for me, so we'll kind of see what that looks like, but the one today will be pretty good. It's more about the story, your voice, your story. And yeah, I'm super stoked about it. It's about rebuilding. It's about becoming. I'm not someone who's on the top of a mountain telling you guys like, hey, this is the way to success. This is like, you know, I've already made it. Like, this is what I did, and trying to sell you something. Like, absolutely not. I think it's very impactful to see someone who's on the journey. Yeah, and I'm just putting myself out there. And as soon as you put yourself out there, just know that there's going to be the haters coming at you like crazy. Like, oh, you're just looking for validation. I'm like, if I'm looking for validation, I probably wouldn't be doing this for free. And it would look way different than me talking about mindset. Why in the world would I be talking about mindset if I just wanted you to tell me how great I looked? I mean, look at me now. You're gonna see in the opening of today's video, when I was editing it, I was like, wow, my hair looks like hot garbage. So, very real. I I did fix it after I realized, but yeah, it looks great. So when you see the opening of today's video, you're gonna be like, wow, what is wrong with your hair? And I'm gonna say life happened, okay? So usually it's just up like this when I'm editing. I'm just like in my zone. I have my coffee, you know, the 12th cup of the day. Just kidding, it's not the 12th, but it might be the second or third. Who's to say? But yeah, if there's no comments or questions, oh, I did get one. Johnny, how do I continue to do bodybuilding with an injured back and chronic back pain? Well, chronic back pain. So I would be curious first what your recovery program or protocol looks like. Also, I don't ever advocate without like a doctor like saying, hey, you're not allowed to do this, this, and this. You can still bodybuild, but it might be different weights. It might be different motions. It might be different resistance. Like maybe you're using bands. Why is this shaking so much? Sorry, guys. It's making me nauseous. But you can use bands. You can, it's probably when you start doing deadlifts, even I would assume chest, anything that you're moving a significant amount of weight is going to cause pain. So I would first get it cleared. Is it something that, if it's injured, I wouldn't suggest doing anything that a doctor said you can't do, but I would make sure the recovery is good. Have you tried ice baths? Have you tried different peptides that are good for injuries? Again, do your own research. I talk about them. It's faster recovery. It's usually injected. There's oral as well for like BPC 157, but you usually inject it. If you do injectables, it goes directly into your subcutaneous fat, but some are known, and then you could hear too that they put it right into the injured area. That's up for you to decide and for your own research. I never like prescribe anything. I always say it's suggested, but recovery matters. And it's not that you can't do bodybuilding. I would say weight matters. What kind of movements are you trying to do? Is this something that you foresee changing? Like, how long until your back is better? Like, I don't know if it's broke. Like, I'm not saying like tell me your entire like what you did. I'm not gonna make you do that, but I would just see what are your left and right limits and what can we do in the in between, because it's absolutely possible to stay in shape, or you just do more circuit type work. You don't need to be pushing all this heavy crazy weight, especially if you're injured. But you can still move. You can still move weight. I mean, just like everyday stuff, right? Gallon of water, a couple gallons of waters. Yeah, we can always talk offline about it too. Email, or we can go in the comments. Like, I don't care. I'm good with that. But yeah, that's very much I would need to know what you're allowed or not allowed to do and kind of go from there and make sure your recovery is good. Like, are you using bands? Ice baths have been great. It's really hot here right now, and I don't own like an actual ice bath, so I have a deep freezer full of like gallons that I've had full of water that are frozen, and I just put it into a cold tub to like make it really cold. But I think having like that regulated actual tub works. But like when I just did that and I went into it was a mod tub, I believe it was called. I was on a podcast with someone like 2 years ago, and they're like, let's do an ice bath thing. And I couldn't do it the first round. I was in there for maybe a minute and I was like, this is cold as hell. And then I went to do the second round after I'd taken a break and practiced my breathing, and I was able to do the full 3 minutes. Super cold. But my legs felt amazing. My lower back and everything. I was up to like here in the tub for 3 minutes, and the breathing really helped because you can start getting like severe anxiety in there, but it also helped the anxiety go away because the only thing you're thinking about is like, this is cold. I just need to get through it. So that was like very impactful for me, but my legs felt amazing. I actually felt like recharged after doing it. So I really want to get back to it, but that was a great recovery type thing too. And when I said peptides earlier, that's something new that I've been doing for a couple of months now that have really helped speed up recovery, especially with the amount of impact. I've had back issues before. I'd also say deep tissue massages as part of the protocol. I want to do more of them. I need to start doing more because I would have lower back pain. I wouldn't say it was chronic, but I was working my corporate job and lifting. I had severe lower back pain to the point that I was like going to a chiropractor. That didn't work. Rolling out, stretching. I mean, I was at work and I couldn't sit and I couldn't stand comfortably. It was the most like aggressive feeling thing. So I ended up getting like this crazy deep massage from like this hole in the wall, like sports place, this lady, it was so painful at first just because they're taking the knots out. They're using a little crossball. They're like, I mean, getting deep tissue. And that is what helped alleviate that back pain because there was so much tightness happening through my hips, through my back, and everything kind of just flows together. But I would say deep tissue is also something really powerful. Again, depending if you can do that. But I love and slash hate deep tissue massages because it's so painful. But I felt amazing afterwards, and it was the only thing that alleviated the pain. So definitely look into that too if you can. But cool. I'm going to continue editing, and any of those who haven't seen, I showed it earlier. The other side of my office where I'm editing. Usually my desk is facing that way. I see all the sound things have like fallen off. It's crazy because I've been in here forever, but that's what she looks like. But yeah, I'm gonna keep editing and getting ready for my son's birthday party this weekend, which means cleaning and all that good stuff. So super fun. But yeah, leave a comment on here if you do have a question, if you have feedback for HybridX Phase 2. This is kind of like a teaser because it is coming, but I'm not going to tell you the exact date until I'm able to start editing those. And solidifying. I'm always in the gym with a notebook, literally changing out exercises that I'm like, I don't want this one, I want this one. And I test different things out, check my rep range, and I'm like, okay, how do I feel after that workout? And then that becomes like one of the workouts. So any feedback, if you're like, hey, I want to see this split or like this kind of running thing, like, you know, the fartlek runs that I used to do those in the military too. Like I want to implement some different things for y'all and know what did you not like about Phase 1? What did you really like about Phase 1 that you want to keep for Phase 2? All those different things and videos for the in-between. This Built to Perform series in between Phase 1 and 2 is totally up to y'all. If there's feedback, I'm going to take it seriously. So please feel free to drop those to me. And yeah, I'm going to see you guys next time. Thank you for being here. And video goes live at 3 p.m. CT today. But it's back to editing, back to the grind for me. And I'll see y'all later. Make sure to comment because I'll comment back.